Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Dragon Ogre party for you today, as we have Kolek Suneater and another Dragon Ogre Shaggoth with the Summers of Rage coming for the Chaos army. We have, of course, a matchup between Chaos and the Tomb Kings. Chaos is being led by Rudy Blu, and ShetlandApache is leading the forces of the Tomb Kings. As for the Chaos army, of course, we have Kolek Suneater with his Star Crusher, and the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and of course the Summoners of Rage ROR. We have two Chaos spawns, one of which being the Weird Spawn ROR. We have some Demon Spew for the Forsaken ROR unit. We have 4 Chaos Marauders, and for the Magic Source, we have a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, bringing Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Wrath and Ruin, and Cascading Fire Cloak. Now for the Tomb King army, we have leading the forces, High Queen Khalida up on her mount, bringing nothing other than My Will Be Done, a nice little buff to melee attack and melee defense. We also have a Necrotech, giving some nice heals to the constructs of the Tomb King side, which we do have the Necropolis Knights with halberds. For the magic department, we have a Lich Priest of Death, bringing the Purple Sun of all things, as well as Spirit Leech, as well as the Neferata Scrolls of Mighty Incantation. So giving a nice little boost to the power reserves. For the rest of the forces, we have the Kepra Guard, the Tomb Guard ROR unit. The front line is just a line of 3 Skeleton Spearmen. And protecting the 2 Screaming Skull Catapults, we just have the King Nekesh's Scorpion Legion and another Skeleton Spearman on this side, very spread out unit. And on the very far flank, we have another unit of Tomb Guard with halberds and 2 Skeleton Horsemen. So that will wrap things up for the armies, as let's get this show going, shall we? As the shots of the Screaming Skull Catapult are raining in. Those shots are not really hitting their mark. We already had a nice little spell go off on the Chaos Sorcerer, taking a nice little chunk off on them. But now the forces of Chaos are quickly advancing upon the Tomb Kings. But with the spread out nature of the 2 Screaming Skull Catapults, they should be able to fire at least one of them for quite some time before Chaos is able to get around to them. And we also have the Necropolis Knights, which do very well against Kolek. But we do have the quite the monster mash, though. So even those halberds probably won't be doing very much, as these Skeleton Spearmen are just getting crumped upon by the monsters of Chaos. Though the Skeleton Horsemen are getting a nice little charge in, but the Chaos Spawn will be quick to answer. Now these Necropolis Knights here are going to be able to get a very nice rear charge in. What looks like the Summoners of Rage and both Kolek and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth are coming to respond. So they're going to get a nice counter charge off. And those Necropolis Knights, they are very much an anti-large unit, but 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths and the Summoners of Rage, that is not something that they're going to want to be involved with. Now we'll have the Lich Priest coming in, providing a little bit of support. As these horsemen get a nice little rear charge off onto the Demon Spew. But yeah, that front line are going to be doing very well for the Chaos, as this Weird Spawn unit is able to once again just kind of break through those Marauders. And the only thing that's really kind of breaking down a bit is the Chaos Infantry, but the monsters of Chaos are just going to be a very much of a pain to deal with, is now with these skeleton, or the King Nekeshas are going to get kind of a very dangerous surround off, so they're not going to be in a good place without any support coming in, but they are getting some nice fire in from the Screaming Skull Catapults, as the Tomb Kings have realized that they really do need to support their frontline engagement, as the Screaming Skull Catapults have pretty much been abandoned in terms of just general protection. But the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and the Summoners of Rage are still at full health, as it looks like we're going to have a nice little spell here. We're getting some lightning coming down, a nice rear charge in from the Skeleton Horsemen, but they're not going to be doing very well. All those Summoners of Rage have to do is just turn around, and are going to be doing so much damage to those Skeleton Horsemen. The only good thing so far on the Tomb King side, I'd say, is that the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire is going very low. Being able to get that Chaos Sorcerer out will be very, very helpful. But right now, yeah, these Necropolis Knights really are. They want to isolate Kolek or the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, but they're just running in tandem the entire time here. We also have the, I mean, the Capra Guard right now, they'll do very well against the Chaos Marauders. They're not going to be taking too much damage, but the Weird Spawn and the Dragon Summoners of Rage, really not going to be very good news for them. Is a nice Burning Head is about to be dropped down, cutting right through the Skeleton Spearmen, doing some very good damage, taking off like 50-60% of their health. But now we have these halberds here. If they're able to get some support right now in this engagement, this could be very helpful for the Tomb Kings. But those, those halberds are just taking so much damage as Chaos is starting to take a nice little jump in the balance of power. But the Chaos Sorceress of Fire is routing, and the mobility is definitely in the Tomb King's advantage right now, and shot falling into their own horsemen. But yeah, those Skeleton Horsemen will definitely be able to chase off that Chaos Sorcerer. There's nothing that can really catch them. Though the Chaos Sorcerer is on foot, so that does actually open up the opportunity for the Summoners of Rage or even the Dragon Ogres to catch them. We do have the Ushapti summon coming in, looking to pin in all of these monsters of chaos, as we also have another unit of fresh Skeleton Spearmen coming in to close the gap. But we have another nice little cast of lightning coming in. We have another Spirit Leeches going down on Kolek. Spirit Leeches so far have been reserved for the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, who is not going to be getting any support and will very likely be going down here. As now the balance power has actually gone back towards the middle, as this nice surround is exactly what the Tomb Kings needed. We have now a nice charge in by the Necropolis Knights, kind of getting a little isolation of Kolek, but the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is coming in to assist. But yeah, there's a very good surround. It's now the Necropolis Knights do kind of pull off, get a nice charge into the Demon Spawn that were kind of coming in to support, as a Chain Lightning goes down. Not really going the direction that Chaos would have wanted, but it might be coming back here to clip some of these Skeleton Spearmen. But yeah, it does look like that's just kind of going off to the side. Okay, the mobility of the Tomb King is doing very well, kind of cleaning up all the routing units. Though the big problem is going to be, of course, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and Kolek himself. As that Dragon Ogre is just pounding into these Necropolis Knights, as they are getting pretty low. Let's see, they are at 8 units right now. The Necrotech is actually doing very well, so it can actually get some heals off onto the Necrotech, or onto the Necropolis Knights if it has any still left. But yeah, the Summoners of Rage, though, are also routing right now. We have some mobility but they do just come back. Let's see how many. They have 6 units, so that would have been very good had the Tomb Kings been able to capitalize on pushing them off. And yeah, Kolek now is isolated, exactly what the Tomb Kings want in this. That other Dragon Ogre needs to assist Kolek, or Kolek needs to be able to get out here. We have the two Weird Spawn and Chaos Spawn here. Only 2 models now between them. Not going to be a whole lot of help there in terms of mass, as some shots are now raining in from the Screaming Skull Catapult. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be wanting to continue to fire in, only to get maybe the debuffs off onto the Chaos units, so we're able to break Kolek with the Screaming Skull's ability there. And yeah, that Lich Priest, if he's able to catch up just enough, Kolek should be able to get pushed off, considering that Lich Priest is on horse. But the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is coming to try and peel him off, as the Lich Priest does turn around and run, allowing Kolek to return to the field. And now we look back into this little mosh pit here. This is with both Dragon Ogre Shaggoths away. The Tomb Kings are trying to eliminate anything else that is left. And so yeah, the Weird Spawn, only 1 unit left, very, very low on health, only 94, so that's going to be going down to those spears very, very quickly. Dragon Ogre, the Summoners of Rage, he's going to be routing, very low on health as well, only 2 models left. I believe there should be some mobility left. Well, it looks like those mobility is committed to this fight from the Tomb Kings. The balance power is, yeah, in the Tomb King's favor. But yeah, these 2 Dragon Ogres are going to be very hard to deal with. But yeah, the Tomb Kings, they do have 3 single entities left that are going to be able to just continue to cycle charge in and out of this engagement. Now with Kolek is gone, I believe one of these units will probably try and turn and chase either the Necrotech or maybe even the Lich Priest will be able to pull off, but Lich Priest seems to be trying to keep the other Dragon Ogre's attention for the time being. As yeah, we still have those Screaming Skull catapults firing in, doing probably a bit more friendly damage than they would like, but really it's kind of that leadership debuff. As soon as they're able to break this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, that was going to be game. But yeah, it's still quite a bit of health left. And the Summoners of Rage are coming back. Only 2 models, but it might be enough to at least provide some kind of help. Although High King Khalida is very low. I mean, even these Summoners of Rage, but they do shatter. Like a single attack by them could have been enough to take out High Queen Khalida, as the Dragon Ogre is now 1 hit and down goes High Queen Khalida. She does drop, and her mount does kind of run away. I'm kind of a little bit surprised there. You kind of see, I mean, this is High Queen in the ground, but her mount does escape. And the Necrotech is also very, very low, as the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth tries charging through to take it out. I mean, it is crumbling. And I don't know if that Necrotech is going to be able to pull this one off, as the bounce power is slowly starting to move its way, kind of balancing its way back and forth. But yeah, that Dragon Ogre is wavering. A couple more shots from that Screaming Skull catapult might be enough to break it. But those shots kind of going a little wide, and this one finding its way in right into the middle of all the units. But yeah, that Dragon Ogre is definitely taking this damage fairly, fairly well. I wonder just how many units those Screaming Skulls have killed of their own. But it is just some undead warriors. The Kepler Guard really don't want to be taking all that unnecessary damage, as they are their critical binding. Now they're crumbling. They only have a few units left, as the Lich Priest does get a little charge in. But it's going to be really hard to take out the Dragon Ogre at this point. The crew of the Screaming Skull have completely used up their ammo, so they'll actually probably want to just kind of come in and engage to provide that attacking. We'll see, though. I mean, it still says the balance of power is in the favor of the Tomb Kings, so I'm not really sure if I agree with that, because, I mean, it's the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth against the Lich Priest. The Lich Priest is not a melee combatant in any sense of the word. There's no more range support from the Screaming Skull catapult, and that Dragon Ogre is just going to be able to deal so much damage. Let's see, because, yeah, the Kepler Guard are now completely gone. And yeah, you see now the balance of power has gone very much back into the Chaos' favor. I'm surprised so much of that balance of power was being represented by the Kepler Guard. But now the Dragon Ogre shall charge in to the Screaming Skull catapults, as the Lich Priest is going to try and cycle charge as much as he can. Though, yeah, against the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, it's not going to be doing that much. If he has some magic left, that may be all he needs. I mean, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth trying to reach that Lich Priest, get any hits off on him, but he's being caught up by these Screaming Skull catapults. I mean, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. The Lich Priest coming in for a nice charge. Oh, he gets a smack right in the face. Just bad timing there. That Lich Priest really needed to kind of swing around, get rear charges in as much as he can to avoid pretty much exactly what's happening right now, as the Lich Priest goes down, and so will the rest of the Tomb King army, and Chaos will come back and take it. So we'll take a quick look at the after battle report, as you take a look at just how well they all did. So we'll take a look, and yeah, very good in the department of the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. Kola getting 125, and the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth getting 4 chevrons in that battle, with all the damage that it did to the Necropolis Knights, to High Queen Khalida, the Necrotech, and the Lich Priest. Just doing so much damage, getting so much value. The front line was really, really good for the Chaos. They were just able to, even though the Tomb Kings pretty much brought all spears, I mean, the Skeleton Spearmen, even though they are anti-large units, they're really not that much of a threat against, like, I mean, the Summoners of Rage or the Dragon Ogres. There's not, it might as well just be Skeleton Swordsmen at that point. The front line of the Chaos Marauders, though, they were just pretty much chaff units for the most part. Much better chaff units than you say the Skeleton Spearmen. But yeah, the mobility of the Tomb Kings, they were able to very well at peeling off all of the routing units of Chaos, make sure that they wouldn't be coming back. But I think had, I mean, at least one of them been saved. I know that I noticed one was engaged in that final kind of blob fight, but if they had been kind of kept out, because Kolek did rout a few times, as well as the Summoners of Rage, and had they been around to just chase them off completely, that could have been a big help. I mean, They didn't do a whole lot when they came back, but it would have been just enough to maybe swing it back the other way. But yeah, this is a very good match. This was part of my Rise of the Mortarchs third qualifier this past weekend. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to some more matches from that in this coming week. And again, I hope you all enjoyed the video. And as always, have a good one.